Now let's talk about some powerful design tools that we haven't discussed yet. So I'm just going to be using this image of myself because there are potentially a few things that here that I might want to remove. This was a photo shoot a long time ago. Maybe it doesn't quite reflect who I am now, but I still want to use the image. So let's have a look at how we can play around with it in the edit photo function. First of all, I would use the magic eraser tool because let's say I don't actually want this to be identifiable as a Mac because maybe there's some issues in terms of advertising or things like that, or I just don't want the Apple symbol there. I could just use the brush function and it's just going to remove that for me. Same with, on my t-shirt there it says breathe, but that's a little bit weird and it's a little bit hard to read, so maybe I don't actually want that. I just want it to be a nice plain colored t-shirt. And then let's say this was for like a LinkedIn profile or something like that, and I want it to be a little bit more professional, and I just want to remove my tattoo out of that as well. If that's something I wanted to do, then I can use the magic eraser function for all three of those things and have a nice clear image like this that has helped me to change it into something a little bit more professional. Now you can stack these tools on top of each other. So we are going to be going back into edit photo and using the magic edit. If I was going to do this at this stage, it's going to ask me if I want to erase everything that I've just done with the magic eraser. So this may change in the future, but as of right now, you can't sort of, do one, then the other, then the other. You would have to download it as an image and then use the magic edit function afterwards. So in this case, we are going to be starting with the first original image in order to use the magic edit function, but just so you know, you could just download it and then re-upload it as well. So I'm going to go to edit photo and use the magic edit function. Now, I am going to be honest here, this is a bit of a hit or miss for me. I've seen some people have really great success with it in terms of, brushing this over like their outfit and saying, add a blazer to this instead of a jumper or instead of a t-shirt because you want to create something a little bit more professional. I think it's a tool that's going to continue being developed, and I don't think that any of these things are like perfect right from the beginning. So definitely test it out for yourself. But one use case that I can definitely see having for this, especially me as someone who does change their hair color quite often, is, for example, with this kind of photo shoot, where it was a couple of years ago where I had bright white blonde hair, and that's just not the case anymore. So I don't feel that it reflects me exactly, but I still want to use the image. So I could just brush this over my hair and say, give me, let's say brown hair. It's not going to be exactly brown. Most likely, I probably want it to be like a light brown, dirty blonde, because that is more reflective of the kind of hair color that I have now. But this will allow you to essentially manipulate the photo a little bit to your current style and update it. So it's not going to be perfect. This has random streaks in it, so might have to generate some new results. This is a little bit closer to the hair color I have now, so might just need to play around with it a little bit, but it does seem to do a pretty good job with altering hair color and outfit color and things like that. So you would just use the brush stroke to basically brush over the area that you want to change or that you want to add to, and then tell it what you want to change it to. So this is a lot closer. So it's not exactly brown, but this is actually a lot closer to the hair color I have now. I think that I would be really comfortable with putting this as my profile photo, or even this, because yeah, it looks a lot more like me. So I would be happy to use that. And just so you can see the original, this was a couple years ago, really light blonde hair. And then this is a lot more reflective of the hairstyle I have now. So you can play around with it in a few cool different ways like that. And speaking as someone who has spent, hundreds and hundreds of dollars on brand photo shoots, this can be a very inexpensive way to update some of your brand assets. So definitely play around with some of these tools. I hope you enjoyed them, and I will see you in the next lesson.